Welcome back to the Revolutionary Hour, where we ask the tough questions, call out the hypocrisy, and pay taxes for the privilege of getting screwed over on land that was stolen in the first place. Yeah, let's talk about it. The Native American situation, or as the government likes to call it, the long con of sovereignty. Strap in, people, it's about to get dark. Just like your mood when you realize that you've been paying for the circus that you didn't even ask to be a part of. So here's a fun little question for all you enlightened beings out there. Why is it that the people whose land was stolen from them are still forced to pay an income tax to the very government that stole it from them in the first place? I mean, seriously, this is like robbing someone's house and then charging them rent to stay in a garage. Yeah, you can stay here, but just ignore the big gun in your head and, pay up Big Brother every month. But don't worry, it's not all bad. The US government is very generous. They've created something called voluntary compliance for taxes. Yeah, you heard that right. You can voluntarily comply. What a concept. Sounds great. Until you realize that voluntary in this context is the same as being voluntarily mugged. Yeah, sure, you don't have to hand over your wallet, but trust me, buddy, you want to. Some people say, bro, they get to stay on reservations and they ain't gotta pay all the taxes. Man, what else do you want from us, man? Yeah, that's true. Alright, I forgot. Living on a patch of land that was generously set aside after having most of it stolen from you is such a sweet deal. I mean, if I could choose between my ancestral homeland and a chunk of isolated dirt that the US government controls through a trust system, I'd definitely take the dirt. Who wouldn't? Now let me break this down for those of y'all still trying to make sense of it. The land on these reservations isn't even fully owned by the tribes. Nope. The US government holds it in a trust. You know what else they hold in a trust? Your patience. Because what they're really saying is that we'll give you this land back, kinda. But don't get any ideas of doing anything with it without our permission. It's like letting you borrow your own car while they keep the title. Look, Mr. E, I get it, but they're still U.S. citizens and they must pay their federal taxes. Oh, thanks for the enlightenment, Captain. I can see clearly now. Yeah, they're U.S. citizens, forced to be citizens in a country that colonized them, violated their treaties, and continues to treat them like guests on their own land. And let's not forget that these citizens are voluntarily complying with taxes that fund programs to keep colonization alive and well, trapping them on their own small piece of land. Nice job, Uncle Sam. Looky here, what you're missing is if they just stay on the reservation, they don't have to pay state taxes. Oh, the one tiny exemption. The consolation prize for centuries of genocide and broken promises. No state taxes to stay out of the state's way. I'm actually surprised they didn't throw in a coupon for free coffee while they were at it. Hey, I'm sorry about the whole genocide thing, but, just stay right here and, hey, here's a Starbucks on us. Okay, now let's get real. We got treaties that were broken, lands that were stolen, cultures that were utterly destroyed, and the descendants of the ones that were victimized are now being told that, hey, pay us for the privilege of living here. I'd say it's ironic, but that doesn't even begin to cover it. It's like a fireman setting your house on fire and then sending you a bill for putting the flames out after they moved into your house. Anybody thinking of Hawaii? If we really want to go full dystopia on it, we could just start charging the Native Americans a exile fee. Like, sorry you've been exiled from your land for generations, but we're going to need you to start chipping in on the cost of pretending to care about you. Yeah, they should just go ahead and call it a sovereignty surcharge. Oh, but don't worry, the system works. We've got the 16th Amendment that allows Congress to tax income from whatever source derived. Because, robbery is a source too. And the IRS is here to make sure everyone voluntarily complies, because nothing says freedom like being forced to participate in a system that was built on your ancestors' suffering. Let's be clear, this is not about taxes. This is about the continuing to squeeze the last drop of dignity and autonomy from a people who have been historically screwed over in every conceivable way. It's colonization 2.0, only this time they don't need guns, they got taxes. It's the same control, just with the polished legal framework. But hey, at least we got our federal income tax system to keep the wheels of injustice spinning. Because if there's one thing we all can agree on, is that nothing says progress like taxing people for existing on land that you stole. So next time you hear somebody talking about voluntary compliance, remember, it's only voluntary if you're not the one whose history, land, and rights are not being systematically erased. And if you ever catch yourself thinking or wondering if taxes are a fair deal for Native Americans living on reservations, remember this one thing. The US government has already collected their payment. It was called everything. Well, that's all for today on Revolutionary Hour, and I hope you are as thoroughly pissed off as I am. And if not, you clearly have not been paying attention. But tune in next week as we break down the concept of freedom in a world where only a few get to actually decide what that means. So stay angry, stay aware, and don't let the system grind you down, baby. Revolutionary Hour.